Hello and welcome back to another episode here on Wargame Hammer. I'm Zoe Kirk-Robinson, and today I want to talk to you about my wargaming origin stories, also known as How Did I Get Here? So, like many of you at my age, I'm in my mid-40s, I started out with games like Hero Quest and Space Crusade. Still actually have my copy of Space Crusade. Love it. Took one of the figures down to last year's painting competition at the Warhammer store. My Space Crusade Dreadnought, painted up in proper old Hammer style colours. It was a lot of fun and very well received. But that was kind of how I got into wargaming as a concept, as a proper rules-centered concept, but it's not where I started. I was thinking about this the other day. My actual origins are the narrative stories that I told with all of my Masters of the Universe and Transformers figures, setting them out and making the battles and things like that, combined with something rather special to me. Now, when I was 5 or 6, my uncle, he came back from, I don't know, he was in the army, he was stationed somewhere, and he brought me back as a souvenir some military figures of medieval knights and things like that. Proper nice chunky things in a big coffee can that he'd found somewhere. And I used to lay them out and have seizures and fights and things like that with them. That's actually where my origin is. I was thinking about this the other day, saying, yeah, that's the start of it. I still have something of a preference toward the medieval era, and it's stuck with me for the last 40 years. Of course, things have developed since then. Once I moved on from Space Crusade for a while, I started playing strategy games on computer. So it was things like, at the start, Civilization. There were a couple on the Amstrad that I can't even remember the name of. I got them on a disc, and it was an unmarked disc. It was clearly copied software because the guy that I bought the computer off, when I bought my disc drive for my Amstrad CPC, it was second-hand, and it came with a load of discs. He got this disc from somewhere. He copied it off someone. So I had that, and I have no idea what it was, but it was fun. And then from Civilization moved on to some more strategy things. There was a shareware game that was basically a copy of Risk. I never actually played Risk the board game. I have a copy of Risk the board game. All of the pieces are still in the plastic. I will play it sometime. I got it and then no one wanted to play it. It's got one of those reputations, that board game, but I'll get around to it sometime. And I played this Risk variant on a shareware disc. No idea what it was called. I just know it was on disc 3 out of the ones I bought at a car boot sale from a guy selling pre-packaged shareware items. So that was fun, and that kept me going with it. And then I got into the more modern style of wargaming with medieval Total War, and that taught me all sorts about rank and flank and correct positioning of troops, being able to hide your reserves until the last minute and then bring them all out and win a battle that way. It also taught me a lot of patience. A lot of my earlier games were, right, we're going to charge in, melee up, and we're going to get in there. Medieval Total War taught me the benefit of holding back, waiting, and striking at the correct time with your cavalry and things like that. Also, archers are really, really good. If you've got Welsh longbowmen, you can get a long way. Well, after that, I wanted to get into Warhammer for quite a while. My problem was that I was a poor student, and let's face it, if it's a difference between rent, food, and Warhammer, rent and food are going to win out. I'm just one of those people. I prefer to be able to survive. So, I know some people would say, no, you've got your priorities wrong. You could always skip a meal for an extra bunch of troops. Like, no, sometimes you can't. So I didn't get into it during university. And I think, honestly, I would have had a great time if I had. Instead, I got into Dungeons and Dragons in a big way. 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons was amazing, but I actually remember, I think it's 2nd edition's basic starter set. I got it as a Christmas present from my grandmother one year, and I still have it. And it still has all of its figures unpainted, which is unusual for me because I normally went and tried to paint things, but this one I kept pretty much pristine. I absolutely adored that game. It was a lot of fun, and it got me into trying different styles of RPG, which of course have the same combat mechanics that come from wargaming, because Dungeons and Dragons comes from wargaming. It's not the other way around. Some people think it is, but it's not. D&D is a refined, smaller case, essentially, of skirmish and roleplay of a wargame. So that was a lot of fun. And then, once I left university, it was on to more medieval Total War, moving on to other strategy games after that. And then finally got myself established as an artist and video maker. And I thought, I've got the time and I've got the money. Let's give it a try. Let's actually do what I wanted to do from a long time ago and give it a try. So I came in and I got myself a copy of 5th edition. The Assault on Blackreach, that was quite something. All the orcs had changed, but were still recognisable. The Space Marines had changed, but were still recognisable based on what I remembered from Space Crusade. They didn't seem too different. But 5th edition didn't click with me. I don't know why. It just didn't feel like the kind of game I expected Warhammer to be. And if you like it, that's fine. I'll probably go back and try it again sometime. I still have the box, the rules, everything. I mean, I've shown it in previous episodes of the show. So I could go back and try it again, and maybe I will one day. We'll do that as like a special battle report or something. But at the time, it just didn't click, you know? So I put it aside and went back to my video games and role-playing games for several years. And then 10th edition came out, and I thought, everyone's saying this is streamlined, and that sounds good. Everyone's saying it's like a new start. People can get into it. And I thought, okay, one more try. Let's give it one more try, see if it clicks this time. It clicked. Oh, it clicked so well. This felt good. It felt right. All of the models were much bigger now, which it was a bit of an issue because I had my old stuff and I wanted to play with that, but you still can. It's just... So I ended up getting deeply into it from that, and now I have the whole of Combat Patrol magazine, so I have the 9 little combat patrols from that, which are the basis of some armies. I can play small games of 40k with a variety, but I actually expanded from there, and I think I have 11 combat patrols now, which is enough to do a proper campaign, albeit with small battles, but a proper campaign, which is great and exactly what I want to do for this show. So that's how I got here. But it's not the end, because once I found out that Warhammer really did click with me, I thought, okay, what else is out there? I've ended up with the rules for Hail Caesar, Bolt Action, Black Powder. I wrote my own rules. And I've got Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Underworlds as well. So I think I'm here to stay, but that is how I got here. It's a bit of a bumpy, windy, twisty-turny thing, but it all seems to keep coming back to the idea of, what if Warhammer 40k is actually pretty good? 40k is... I thought about this a while. I don't think it's my forever game, but it's certainly a linchpin game for me. Maybe we'll talk about forever games and the concept of that and whether it's even possible in a future video. But for now, that is my origin story. That is how I got here. How did you get here? I'd love to hear what your story is in the comments section down below. But until next time, that's pretty much all I've got for you. So have a great day. Take care. Happy gaming. Bye for now.